study the situation to know how it can be harmful to Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And on Saturday, she has obviously decided that releasing those documents will not be of any harm to Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Guys, as e dey hot o, Atiku has defeated Tinubu in the US court again. Una remember this saying that 99 days is for a thief, but 1 day is for the owner. I no call anybody name o. Now, Judge Nancy Maldonado has ordered Chicago State University to release Bola Tinubu's academic record. She also stated that Monday, being 2nd of October 2023, will be the deadline for the release of all those documents. E no end here, my people. She further stated that Tinubu's appeal for a stay of execution will be denied. So guys, before we continue with the video, if you are here to follow me, please click on the follow or subscribe button. Don't also forget to like, share, and drop your opinion at the end of this video at the comment section. Thank you guys, and let's go.
Another eyes of Nigerians are also on the courts in the United States of America, where Atiku Abubakar, the presidential candidate of the PDP, had gone to get evidence to prove that Bola Ahmed Tinubu submitted forged Chicago State University certificate to the Independent National Electoral Commission. That is why all eyes are on the judiciary in America right now. And in a landmark decision that happened last night, Saturday, the judge in the United States of America has delivered his judgment, the much anticipated judgment. And the judgment is in favor of Atiku Abubakar of the People's Democratic Party. And this makes it the second time that Bola Ahmed Tinubu loses to Atiku Abubakar, because he lost in the first judgment that was delivered by Judge Gilbert, that ordered Chicago State University to release all his academic records to Atiku Abubakar. Okay? Because of that judgment by Judge Gilbert, Tinubu quickly rushed to a higher court, a higher judge, Judge Nancy Maldonado, to object to the release of his academic records to Atiku Abubakar, citing severe and irreparable harm that will be done to him if these records are released to Atiku Abubakar. Now that matter was put on hold by Nancy Maldonado because of the plea by Tinubu that if the result is released, the documents are released, it will cause him severe and irreparable harm. So the woman wanted to study the situation to know how it can be harmful to Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And on Saturday, she has obviously decided that releasing those documents will not be of any harm to Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that it is in the overriding national interest of Nigeria and of that of the petitioner that he be given access to all the academic records of Bola Ahmed Tinubu to prove his case at the Supreme Court in Nigeria. Now, Nancy Maldonado has ruled against President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's objection, pleading that the release of his academic records by Chicago State University will cause him severe and irreparable harm. You know, many Nigerians have been scratching their heads to understand how the release of a simple thing like academic records of someone will cause severe and irreparable damage. Of course, it means that Nancy Maldonado, after she had been given chance to go through the whole matter, has also resolved that she doesn't see why release of Tinubu's academic records to a third party should cause severe and irreparable harm to him. And she had gone ahead to deliver a judgment in favor of Atiku Abubakar. And in a short ruling on Saturday, the judge gave Chicago State University deadline of Monday, October 2nd, to release Tinubu's academic records to Atiku Abubakar. The judge warned that any request for a stay of the judgment from Tinubu in her court will be denied. So the court has Judge Nancy Maldonado made it clear that Tinubu should not come back to this court to come and seek for any other adjournment or to put a hold to the release of his academic records. He said that this court will not entertain it. So she has given a warning that the court will not entertain it. She, however, said that Tinubu is free to appeal her ruling at the 7th Circuit Court, which is a higher court. Okay? Tinubu is free to go to a higher court to appeal, but he should not come back to this court, to her court, to come and plea for a stay of execution of the order that she had made. She's free. He's free to go to a higher court, the 7th Circuit Court. And you know that on Friday, the judge had said that Nigerians have shown interest in the case by bombarding her with multiple emails seeking to know the status of the case. And she promised that she's going to give a quick delivery of the case, going to give her judgment without much delay because of public interest in the case. And as she has done, as she had promised on Friday, and by Saturday, she delivered the judgment, and the judgment favors Atiku Abubakar. Now, what are the implications of this development? First of all, it is to also understand that the judge made it clear that Tinubu cannot come back to her court to come and call for a stay of execution. But she also made it clear that Tinubu has a right to go to a higher court, the 7th Circuit Court, to go and appeal. Now, but on whose interest is Tinubu protecting? Is it in national interest that he continue to stonewall about the release of his certificate? Why should Tinubu again go to a higher court? What message is he sending to the world? That after Nancy Maldonado's judgment of Saturday, he will also head to another court to stop the release of his documents, academic documents by Chicago State University. What message is he passing? Is he passing a message that there is something hidden inside his documents that is so terrible that his employers, the people of Nigeria, are not supposed to know about? Is it not strange that he will think about going to a higher court? Because right now he has not gone, but there is a need for them to understand the way the world is looking at Nigeria. Already the international community are watching what is unfolding. That the president of a country is doing everything under the sun to stop his academic records from being seen by his employers, the people of Nigeria. Because obviously, if he goes to the 7th Circuit Court, as Nancy Maldonado said he can go, but not to her own court, it means that he will keep on delaying the matter so that Atiku Abubakar will not have anything to present to the Supreme Court. In that case, he is constituting a stumbling block. He is constituting a stumbling block to the deliverance of justice to Nigerians who are his employers, who want to know his records, who want to know the person that is leading them. The president himself has said that he was a brilliant student. This is the first time a brilliant student will do everything to stop his record from being shown to his employers. Ordinarily, in a corporate environment, no organization will tolerate an employee doing all that, hiding such information from his employers. That is why this verdict has come out, that it is in the interest of Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the APC, the party he represents, to allow Chicago State University to release these documents so that Atiku Abubakar will have access to these documents. And when Atiku Abubakar has access to these documents, he will then present it to the court. Now it is now left for the Supreme Court of Nigeria to compare the results that Chicago State University will make available to Atiku Abubakar the very same certificate that Tinubu was issued in 1979 and compare it with what he submitted, the Chicago State University certificate he submitted to the Independent National Electoral Commission. If they are the same, Tinubu has nothing to worry. The court will bear him witness. The court will exonerate him of any alteration, of any allegation of forgery that Atiku Abubakar had made. He will be free to really pride himself as one of the best of students that ever came out of Chicago State University. However, if it was found out that there were remarkable differences between the two certificates, between the one from Chicago State University that they handed over to Atiku Abubakar and the one that Tinubu submitted to the Independent National Electoral Commission. If there is any difference, if it is not the same, then the Supreme Court have no choice but to invoke Section 137(1)J of the 1999 Constitution, which made it an offense under the law to submit forged documents to the Independent National Electoral Commission. And the law is very clear that when the Supreme Court takes such a decision, it means that his election will be nullified. What happened to the governor of Bayelsa State, who the Supreme Court itself found out had forged documents, academic documents, will happen again? Because in the case of Bayelsa State governorship candidate of the APC, he had already won the election, fair and square. However, his deputy governorship candidate was found to have forged one of his certificates. And that was the end of the matter. While they were preparing for inauguration, they received an uppercut from the Supreme Court of Nigeria. And they were nullified. The election was nullified. And the Supreme Court ruled that it was as if they never participated in the election. All the votes they got, the APC got, was considered invalid votes. And the PDP, Diri, emerged as the governor of Bayelsa State, having scored the highest number of votes necessary to be declared so, after the votes of the APC was cancelled as a result of forgery of academic document. In the case of Tinubu, if the election is nullified by the Supreme Court, if they found out that there is a remarkable difference and that Atiku Abubakar was free, was right in his allegation of forgery of academic documents, then the election will be nullified. Then what happens? In this case, what will the Supreme Court do? The Supreme Court will either listen to Peter Obi, who had already submitted in his appeal before them that he got 8.7 million votes and that he ought to be declared the winner of the election. That is an angle to it. But Atiku Abubakar cannot be a beneficiary of cannot be declared the winner of the election, because Atiku Abubakar is aware that even himself, like Tinubu, did not get 25% of the vote cast in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. In fact, one of the pleas that Atiku is making in the court is that Tinubu ought not to have been declared the winner of the election because he did not get 25% in Abuja. So he cannot now turn back to benefit from what he had already argued against in the court. So he cannot be declared the winner of the election. Already in 2008, Yaradua versus Buhari, the Supreme Court has made it clear that you have to get 25% in the Federal Capital Territory before you can be declared winner of an election. That is invoking Section 134, Subsection 2B of the 1999 Constitution. So where these two things where two of them were not able to meet the conditionalities, there will be a rerun. But Peter Obi himself has presented proof that he won majority of the vote cast, that he got 8.7 million votes. And he has presented his evidence before the Supreme Court. So if the Supreme Court agrees with him that he got this amount of vote and that he be declared the winner of the election, he will be so declared. because he is the one that made the requirement of getting 25% in Federal Capital Territory Abuja. He is the one that has even won more votes, because Peter Obi won Benue State and Rivers State. He has proof, he got evidence to present to the court. But the Presidential Election Petition Court waved it aside. But he had done his homework to show that he won Benue and Rivers State. And if you add those two states to Peter Obi, you know that Peter Obi has won more states than any of the presidential candidates. Already, independent verification by the BBC and the Premium Times show that Peter Obi won in Rivers State. And Peter Obi himself also brought evidence to show that he won in Benue State. So, and we also know that Peter Obi is challenging results in 21 states of the Federation. So if the Supreme Court are convinced with the evidence that Peter Obi has presented, he could be declared the winner of the election, while the results of Bola Ahmed Tinubu will be cancelled out. Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the APC will be cancelled out. He will be declared. But if the court, in their Supreme Court, in its wisdom, say Peter Obi cannot be declared, then they have to do it, order a rerun between Peter Obi of the Labour Party and Atiku Abubakar of the PDP. However, I strongly believe that with the weight of evidence that Peter Obi has presented, that the Supreme Court should be able to declare him the winner of the election if Tinubu's election is nullified.